Hey everybody, Chef Eric Hammond coming back at you. Today I'm going to show you how to make a classic Tuscan seafood stew called Cacciucco. It is from Port, the city of Livorno, and it involves having mussels, clams, calamari, shrimp, octopus, and a piece of fish. And it's very specific on the piece of fish that you want to use. You don't want to use a salmon or anything like that for this stew because it's very oily. You want to use a nice meaty fish like a swordfish or a tuna. So let's get started, and it's going to be really easy. You can make this at home. So the ingredients you need are as follows. You're going to have to start with some sliced garlic, chili flakes, sea salt or kosher salt, fresh ground pepper, clams, mussels, shrimp, calamari, squid, whatever you want to call that, octopus, and I'm using swordfish for this. You're also going to need some good quality seafood broth, shrimp stock, fish broth, and passata, which is pureed tomatoes. So to get started, you want to get a nice heavy bottomed pot up on your stovetop with a high flame. To the pot, you want to add some extra virgin olive oil, a nice generous amount. Wait till it starts to glisten. And then you want to start by adding your garlic. Just put it in the pot. Pot should have been a little bit hotter, but it's starting to go. And you want to toast your garlic to make it golden brown. We've went through this before, everybody. If you chop your garlic, you're going to get a lot of bitter oils coming out of that, as opposed to slicing it like this, where it's got more surface area, but less oil comes out. It's starting to saute a little bit. Now you want to get it golden brown. Once the garlic starts browning, you could add your chili flakes, crushed red pepper flakes. Depends how spicy you want it, but like 2 teaspoons is usually good. I like it a little spicy, so I'm going to add a little bit more, just like that. And you start sweating that down. When you sweat it in the oil, all the flavor is going to get into that oil. You don't want to get it burned though. So into this, you want to add your shrimp. And your calamari. Give it a good stir. You want to add your mussels and your clams. I'm making a lot for me and my lady tonight, who deserves a really good meal. And you just want to saute this a little bit so they start opening. You also want to add at this point your cracked black pepper and your sea salt. You could also use kosher salt, but remember, kids, season every step of the way. That's how you build your flavors. And just let it go. You can put a lid on this after you add your white wine. And the lid is going to steep open the mussels and the clams. Or you don't need to put a lid on it and just boil it with the tomatoes, the wine, and the fish broth. But we're going to let this reduce a little bit right now. So once the clams and mussels start to open a little bit, you could add a little bit of white wine. It is okay to use red wine for this. Traditionally, they use red or white. I like a Chardonnay because I like the oaky flavor. And I like to keep this dish a little lighter. And with red wine, it gets a little bit heavier. You also want to add your fish broth. Just go right in there. Bring it to the boil. You want to add your octopus pieces. So once it's reduced by about 1/3, now you want to add your passata. Just pour it in. Bring it back to the boil and let it simmer for a little bit. So now that it's come to a simmer and it's reduced a little bit, you want to add in your swordfish or tuna, if that's what you're using, and cook that until it's done. You add the fish last because it's very delicate and it's going to get dry and flaky. But this will take about 6 minutes and we'll be ready to serve. So after it's simmered for about 7 minutes, it's ready to serve. So you want to take your mussels and your clams, just put them around the perimeter. 3 each, and I'll put this clam there. Just arrange them very nicely, symmetrically. I'm going to take a couple of pieces of octopus, put them in there. You could find a piece of swordfish that's in there, put that right there. Then you want to ladle the broth and the clams and the mussels and all the goodness right into the plate. And we got to get some shrimp in there too, because we didn't put any shrimp. So again, we'll take the tongs, fish out the shrimp, find a few pieces, which I'm not having any luck doing right now, of course, just because. Oh, here's one. There you go. Here's another shrimp right there. Want to sprinkle it with some parsley. And you always want to serve the Cacciucco with some toasted bread that's rubbed with garlic and olive oil. And that's Cacciucco. I hope you try this at home. Make this for your friends, family, and loved ones. It's a really simple dish, as I just demonstrated. It's just spectacular. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Chef Eric Hammond, and please follow me on Instagram, #Chef Eric Hammond. Thanks a lot for watching.